Hello, everybody. Welcome back to X-Plane 11 once again. Today, we're doing a flight from Dallas, and we're going over to Atlanta. Reason for that is because there's a new Atlanta scenery we're going to check out, the new Nimbus V2 scenery, which I have seen at night. I haven't seen it during the day yet. Cloudy skies here, some storms in the area, storms along our route. We might have to reroute around those. Not really sure yet how that's going to shake out, but very low ceilings here in Dallas right now. We're going to have to push out here very soon. We got a 757 sitting over here. He's waiting for the gate. He just landed, so we're going to try to accommodate that for him. So let's head up into the cockpit and get started.
Ladies and gentlemen, front flight deck, we'd like to add our welcome board. Anticipate possibly some light bumps or some choppy air as we climb out. As a precaution, keep our flight attendants seated for a few minutes. Make sure we know, what that ride's going to be like before they get up. Also appreciate it if everyone would remain in their seats during that time. Thanks for being with us today.
All right, so you'll notice we have our mouse pointer back. Shadow Play updated, well, GeForce Experience updated, so we have that working again. That's awesome. 10,000 feet on departure. Heading, we're going to be 350. We'll just go ahead and put that in there. We're taking off on 35 left today out of Dallas. And should be set there. Wonderful.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
They're ready to connect the tow bar. We're actually going to be ready to go up here. Let's go ahead and get our doors situated here. So we'll go to the doors page, and we'll make sure that they close all of the ones that need to be closed. The ones that are open, those need to be closed, and we'll make sure those are all good to go, and it looks like they are. Let's go ahead and get everybody out of the way down there on the ground handling side of things. Hide them all. There we go, and we're going to go ahead and flip on that anti-collision light on, and we're going to have them remove the jetway. There it goes right there. Wonderful. And we're going to be ready to start engines here very soon.
Tow connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
All right, they're ready to go. We're just going to wait for them to close the door, and then we'll release that parking brake and get on out of here. Wonderful. You got it. Thank you so much. All right. Wonderful. We're good to go there. Let's put the APU on Jen. That is good to go. You guys are good to go. We've removed the external power. That's good. And we should be awesome. All right, let's go ahead and release that parking brake. We're going to go ahead and turn our packs off here.
Push back, and you may start engines.
And we'll turn those bleeds on, and we'll be ready to start engine 2 first. Let's go ahead and put it on the engine page here. And there it is right down there. All right, let's go ahead, and we're going to move over to a spot around the corner here to let that 7.5 in. So let's go ahead and start engine 2. Over to ground it goes. We've got N2 rotation. Wonderful. We want 25%. There's that 5.7 over there. We got him in sight. Using wonderful Traffic Global by Just Flight for our AI today. For all the air traffic you'll see today, actually. Waiting for that 25. There it is right there. Add the fuel. We have a good start.
Thank you for your attention and welcome aboard.
All right, that's a good start on the right side. Let's go ahead and start engine 1 over to ground. We've got N2 rotation. Start valve is open. I don't know what he's waiting for, that 757. He might be waiting for us to get out of the area completely before he pulls in.
Operation complete. Go ahead and set the parking brake.
All right, parking brake is set.
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
Yes, it is. There's 24. There's 25. And we are starting engine number 1.
Tampering with, disabling, or destroying smoke detectors in the lavatories may result in a parking fine.
U.S. law requires passengers to comply with all signs and crew member instructions about seatbelts and smoking.
So that you may follow along, we have provided a safety instruction card in your seat pocket.
Okay, disconnect, and we'll look for the hand signals, and we'll be good to go there. Let's go ahead and just do some flows here. Gen. AP bleed off. Packs come on. We can turn our Alexa on, or hydraulics are good to go there. Probes can come on. Everybody should be good to go there. All right, cool. Let's do our checklist for before taxi.
Tow is disconnected.
Gen 1 2
and
on, probe
bypass
heats
bin
on.
has been removed. Hand signal on the
Anti-ice
left.
is
We'll
off.
see you next time, and have fun up there.
All right, we'll look for the pin on the left. Thank you. Pack switches are auto. Isolation valves auto. AP bleeds off. Continuous for these guys. Both of them. There they go. Idle. And ground equipment is clear, verified. Flap lever for takeoff. 5. 1, 2, 3. Those are in transit right now. We're waiting for that pin. It'll be kind of hard to see it right here, but we'll just go forward a little bit. There it is. Got the pin. Wonderful. Beautiful. All right, so we have 2 good engine starts, and the flaps are coming down now.
The safety instruction card shows the exact location.
To use the vest, open the cover by pulling the red tab or compartment handle to bring.
All right, flaps are good to go. Flight controls, we're going to go ahead and we already checked those. Let's see here, system page. Here we go. And we'll go left, right, forward, back, left rudder and right rudder. Wonderful. Flight controls are free and correct. And you will go to the blank page like that. Before taxi procedure is complete, we're ready to go ahead and taxi over to 35 left. So taxi light comes on, release that parking brake, give a little bit of power here and get rolling. All right, almost down here to runway 35 left. Right now we've got an airplane on about a 5-mile final, just a little bit, probably about 6, 7 miles right there, coming in to land on the runway. So we're going to hold short for him. I'm not sure if he's coming on left or right there, but hard to say. But he is pretty close for comfort, so we're not going to be able to get out of here in time. So auto brakes are on RTO. We've got flaps 5 set. We have green light on that. Continuous on the top. APU's off. Overhead panel looks great. We have the wing light on. We've already told them that they can be seated for takeoff. And all we have to do now is just line up on the runway. But like I said, we're going to wait for this guy and make sure he's not landing on this runway. And then we'll be ready for departure. Okay, so he's landing on 3-5 right, so we're not worried about that. Let's go ahead and bring our power up. We're going to be cleared for takeoff on 3-5 left. Let's go ahead and turn our lane lights on. These all come on. We'll turn the strobe light on. And we're good. We got 37 in that. Good to go. Good. We have TARA on. Lane lights are on. All that's good to go. Sweet. So we'll just bring them up to 40%. And then once they're at 40%, we'll add that power to N1, and we'll be good to go here. How's everybody doing? Hope you're doing well. This is the latest and greatest Zebo. This is the latest version of it. I mean, they're on, I forget what version it is, but all the betas on top of it have been added. And we're using the realistic display mod as well, which gives us realistic displays on the airplane. So let's go ahead and go ET. That's good to go there. All right, looking good here. Bring them up to 40%. Let them stabilize. That looks good to me. N1. And here comes the takeoff power. Creep it in. Takeoff power is set. Airspeed's alive. There's some low-hanging clouds there. Cross-checked. hour and a half en route to Atlanta today. 21 knots right down the runway.
E1,
Rotate.
That's great.
You're up. Ooh, that is rocky. The winds aren't messing around, are they? Get up on our line here for VNAV. LNAV, you gonna come on? Or no? You gonna join the party? There you are. We got LNAV now.
1,000.
1,000 feet. Gonna clear this to off. And we're almost ready for a turn here. Put the landing gear in the off position. Turn off and taxi lights come off. Up into the soup we go. And we're climbing out of Dallas, no problem here. Almost the flaps 1 speed. Bring that nose forward a little bit more. Here comes the drop right there. Flaps 1. And gather up all that speed and clean up the flaps up. We'll continue our climb through the clouds. Everything checks out pretty good here. We go ahead and turn our autopilot on. And we have LNAV and VNAV working as they should. All right, retracts are in. And let's go back to auto. We're in off, We're all looking good here. Back to our checklist, so we'll look and see our climb and cruise. We're not at 10,000 feet yet, just 7,300 right now. And then we're gonna be at or above 6,000 at, looks like it's called Bordeaux. And then Jim is next at 7,000 at or above. We're gonna easily make that, no problem. And we'll make ATC happy. Even though I know ATC isn't running here currently. I do love the Zebo mod. I know that I fly 737 a lot, but it's kind of my wheelhouse. It's like one of my favorite airplanes to fly in X-Plane, and it's just such a beautiful mod. You can't believe it's free, honestly.
That's gonna go.
So with the new update that came out, I figured we would fly it today. We'll fly some other airplanes soon. I did get a National Airlines paint scheme for the 757 freighter, which would be pretty cool. It's a really nice looking one. There's 250 there. FMC speed is dialing in, so we can hold that. We're almost at 10,000 anyway, so the airplane's slowing down, but we'll be just barely over the mark here. And we're going to let it continue its climb on up. We can do that, and we'll just cycle VNAV to do that, and we'll go up to now 37,000 feet. That's our final altitude today. We're over 10,000. Let's go and clean these babies up. Wing light comes off as well, and we'll let them know that they are ready to start service. And they actually come and ask that question. They used to not do that, and now they do it. Pretty cool.
Advantage Aviator MasterCard is another great way to earn miles for everyday purchases and enjoy benefits, such as your first checked bag free, preferred boarding, and no foreign transaction fees. Not an Aviator card member? See a flight attendant and receive an exclusive offer when you apply in flight today.
There's 18,000 feet. We go to standard pressure on both sides. Yes, that is set and verified. We're all good for the climb and cruise procedure stuff. That's all wonderful, and it's taken care of. So we're on our way up to flight level 370. We'll be making a left turn over Hannah, go into line, And then you can see the rest of our route from there. We'll hit top of climb, looks like before Fork. We're doing the Fork 2 departure, I believe is the name of this one. And then after that, we go out to Echo Lima Delta, and then a huge stretch between that and Orc. Here's our left turn over Hannah right now. Huge stretch between there, and that's the longest stint of the flight today. So we're expecting an hour and a half, but it could be quicker because we have a nice, healthy 49-knot tailwind right now, and is it projected to be a top of climb around 99 knots, so we might actually get that jet stream to push us along the way, which would be awesome. We're just about to our top of climb here, 37,000 feet. You can see there's a little bit of a buildup off to the right there, of storms and stuff, so we're not worried about that. I don't see any yellow or red on that. And from what we can tell, it looks like it might be pushing away from us since we are going to the east. So I'm not worried about changing our course or anything like that. There we are, capturing our top of climb right there. We'll let everybody know that they can take off their seatbelts and enjoy the ride for the most part. There's that left turn right there. And we're just going to dance right around these two cells right here. But as of right now, they don't look like they're menacing or anything like that.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. So we're leveled to our initial cruise altitude, expecting a fairly smooth ride today. We have the seatbelt sign turned off, and while you're seated, we do ask that you keep your seatbelt fast about you at all times in case we encounter unexpected bumpy air. And we do thank you for flying with us on American.
Well, while we are here at cruise altitude, wanted to take this time to say thank you guys so much for all the love and support that you've shown on the channel with all of the flight sim related content. I really do appreciate that. For those of you that aren't huge into the flight sim stuff, and maybe you're not even here, maybe you already fast forwarded to the end where the landing is, but regardless, a few things. Red Dead Redemption 2, I'm not sure if that's going to be a thing on the channel unless we move into an RP aspect of that. And the reason why I say that is because I've already finished the whole game here on the YouTube channel on the Xbox One when that originally came out. So there's no need to really go through and do it all over again. However, I'm very eager to see the graphics with that. Anybody been playing any great games lately? I saw that Call of Duty has been looking pretty good. Like, that actually looks like a lot of fun, the campaign on that does, so I might end up checking that out before too long. As far as Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020, I was indeed invited to the Tech Alpha 1 build. I don't think we expect one of those release candidates until tomorrow, Friday the 8th, but I'm not 100% sure there. It was either today or tomorrow. I'm pretty sure it's going to be tomorrow. That would make more sense being on a Friday. So there will be an NDA there, so I won't be able to record it, won't be able to talk about it, won't be able to do anything, really. I'll be able to fly it, and I'm really excited to do that, but don't expect any videos on that. You know what? This is the internet. I'm sure somebody's going to leak something. I hope not, you know, but you never know. You never know. I have seen a lot of those videos out there. People just taking the Microsoft videos and then playing them on their channel. However, we did a trailer breakdown last time. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do another trailer breakdown, and we'll go through all the recent videos that they have shown of the gameplay, and we can talk a little bit about that. If you'd be interested in it, let me know in the comments below. That'd be awesome. You can always catch me live, twitch.tv/jfaviano. I do fly X-Plane quite a bit over there live. Might get into doing some VATSIM with that new codec that was released. I think that'd be a lot of fun to do some flying events. And the reason why is because VATSIM is very relaxed compared to like Pilot Edge. And you know me, I like to just sit back, relax, have fun, and enjoy flying. And in the Sims, I don't tend to do a lot of online flying because I like to just hang out and talk to people along the way. So that's what's going on there. Zoom out a little bit here. You can see we're 142 nautical miles to Orc. And I'm watching that cell over there. I don't think it's moving our way. Like I said, we're going to the east, so everything's kind of just shooting to the south east, it looks like there. So we're just going to be kind of trailing behind it. You can't even see the top of it. It's so far out there, so I'm not worried about that. We did shut off our center pumps, so we have no fuel in the center anymore. We're feeding off the wing tanks. While we are passing these storms here on our right-hand side, 71 nautical miles to Orc. Let's go ahead and do some of our housekeeping. Go to init ref page. We'll do flaps 30, 150, so double check that one right here. There we go. ILS is 108.9, so let's make sure we have that 108.9 in here. Looks good there, and 108.9 there as well. And looks like that will be on a course of 095. So 095 for the course. We'll do that on both sides. All right, almost to our top of descent. We're just 32 miles from Mordor, so let's go ahead and get things set up for what we want it to be. If we look at our legs page, we are going to be going down before we get our vectors. That's going to be down around 6,000. So Connie's 4,000 at or above if we go around. So it looks like it's going to be easy at 4,000. So 4,000 or 2,700, kind of however we want to do it. Let's just go ahead and go down to 2,700. So the VNAV doesn't freak out. We'll do 2,700, and then we will be ready to start our descent here in just a few moments. There we go. 6,700 looks great there. And as you can see, we're waiting for the top of descent to get right in between the 20 in here. So I like to start my top of descent around 15 nautical miles before we actually need to do it. That way the airplane can just kind of gradually do it. If you wait for it to do it on the top of descent, it will have an RMP go flying down, and you're going to see the airplane really nose over. Now with the new display mod, the realistic one, it will give us a nice bit of information on our RMP. Okay, pretty much there. So let's go ahead and go to the descent page, and then we'll hit descend now, and we will execute. There it goes. Airplane is now in its descent. You can see it starting to drop there. And look at this. We got our RNP 400 and P6, and it's all new stuff than what we're normally getting with the Zebo. So I really like the addition to that. I'm not sure if that's part of the Zebo update or if that is part of the realism visuals. Really not sure at all. We'll keep an eye out. I'm sure we're going to need some drag here before too long to keep the airplane slow. But right now, we just kind of cracked it open, 950 feet per minute.
Ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, we are descending Seatbelt sign is on. If you happen to be up and about, please return your seat. Keep your seatbelt fastened for the remainder of the flight. On behalf of the flight crew, we appreciate you being with us today. Wish you a very safe and pleasant journey to your final destination. Hope to see you back here with us soon. Thank you.
Okay, so we have our auto brakes are set to 2. Those are good. Field elevation in Atlanta is 1,026, so let's go ahead and just put 1,000 here on our landing out. Very close to that. Man, it's very sensitive. There we go, 1,000 there. 26, closer to 50. We'll do 1,050 on that. That looks good to me. Fasten seatbelt signs are all on. Anti-ice is needed, and we don't need any right now, so we're fine on that. Landing altitude is verified. We'll hit the recall here. That is good to go. And then what else we got here? VREF has been entered. We have that set to 150, so that'll be +5, so 155. That's good to go. Radio bare minimums is needed. Let's just set them to 200, shall we? For the sake of it. Let's go ahead and set it to 200. Click, it goes faster. There we go. There we go. Minimums are good. Nav radios set verified. We had that set. That's 111.9 on both sides, and we have 095 on both sides as needed for the course. Auto brakes as needed. Descent procedure complete. As we get to 18,000 right there, standard is off, 3010 on both sides, looking great. 18,000 feet, we're good on all that. We'll turn those on as we need. Passenger signs on, altimeter is set as needed on that, so approach is pretty much good to go. We're doing an ILS landing, so I'm actually going to see if we can try to intercept it manually today and fly the ILS manually instead of letting the airplane do it all the time. Right, into the soup we go. Looks like the ceiling right now is showing about 1,400 feet broken. So good thing we're doing an ILS today. Definitely going to be needing to use that equipment. Still keeping the speed brakes out right now. Maintaining speed as we get to 250 knots here. We're going to wait to put the flaps out until we're pretty much at the end of the arrival here before we start to do vectors. And it looks like that's going to be at Qubit. So, and the reason for that is because when we put our flaps down, even though we're in the zone, it's going to slow the airplane down tremendously, and we'll be doing like 160, 170 knots on the way in. We don't want to do that. We want to keep the best speed to the airport. While we're doing that, we're watching traffic. We don't have any traffic in the area right now. We saw one departing out of Atlanta a little bit ago, but that's about it. Through the clouds, yes, almost to 10,000 feet. Once we get to 10,000 feet, we will turn those landing lights on. We'll let them all know that we'll be landing soon. So that works out for everybody here. 10,400 feet and 300 more feet to go. Now, I've been wanting to use X-Enviro, but I've heard that because I own X-Enviro and I own this is what we're using today is we're using X-Vision with Vess's presets, Sky 2. And then on top of that, active sky as well to depict the weather. So the thing with X-Enviro is that it is 3D volumetric clouds, and I've seen some really great results from it, but I've seen some things that aren't so great about it as well. So there is that. Fixed landing lights come on, wing light, that's going to come on as well. I'll bring the speed brakes in, and we're going to actually arm them by bringing them back to where it turns green like that. That looks good to me. And now we're going to go ahead and we are going to vector ourselves to the ILS. I'll put that back where it was. There we go, about right here's looking nice. And we're going to go to heading of 011. So we'll hit heading select for that. And it is doing exactly that. We're going to continue down to 4,000 because we look like we're supposed to be at easy at 4,000 or below. And we're going to keep an eye and see if we can pick up the ILS any other way. But we don't want to descend below 4,000 for the most part. We're going to make sure that we're riding it out between 8 and 4 here. And we're at 8 right now, and we're holding. We're going to go down to 4,000 after we cross that restriction at 8,000 feet. That'll work fine. We're looking good here, 240 knots. We can actually put our retractables out as well. That looks good. And not sure if we're going to break out until we're closer to 1,400 feet or what, but we'll find out, won't we? Yes, we will. And she's tracking pretty good on 011. Yep. There we go. Now we're starting to grab that RMP coming down now. So we know when we can start our descent, and there it goes. So now we can go down to 4,000 feet, and that's going to be the easy. We should be picking up the ILS soon enough. Once we get a little bit closer here.
1,000 to go.
1,000 to go. You got it. 191 knots. We're fine on that. Let's go ahead and go flaps 5. We should pick up the ILS here in just a few moments. I said I wanted to fly it by hand today, but I decided not to do that because we were in the soup 100%. Here we go. Single channel. Localizer's alive. All right. Almost have the glide slope, too. So I changed my mind there at the end. That's okay. We're about to grab it here. And we're tracking on it. Watching for any airplanes might be shooting out, but looks like they are indeed taking off towards us, possibly. They are. Okay, so that didn't work out so well, so we are going to vector ourselves around, and we're going to line up for a different ILS approach. Yeah, we know unable cruise altitude, not worried about it. So I can show you how this works. This is pretty cool. Arrival into Atlanta, we'll just change it up. And instead of the 19s, we're going to be landing on the other side. So we'll do 27 or 26 right. 27 left. We'll do that. Not worried about that. We'll execute on that guy. So now we can have that set up. That's going to be 108.5 now. So we'll change that up. 108.5. They switched runways on us at the last second. 108.5. And we saw that when we were lining up. So if I see airplanes, popping out of Atlanta like that at our nose, we're not going to mess around with that. Zoom out, you see a little bit here. So let's go ahead and make a left turn now. And we'll get a left downwind going here. Don't want to move that little guy in the middle. That's our bank angle amount. Now we'll get a nice left downwind going like that. About 097 looks good. So we've got 108.5. You go to there, and 108.5, you go to there. There we go. And our course is going to be now, looks like 275. So let's put 275 in our course. And now we get set up for the ILS on the other side of the runway, or the airport. 275. Pretty cool to do something a little bit different than what we normally do. We normally get just a straight-in shot, but they changed runways. Winds whipped around. They're at 2003 knots now, believe it or not. 275, and we'll get the updated weather in just a minute. 275, there we go. Altimeter's 3010 still, so that didn't change. Only our direction of what all the airplanes are doing out here. So we can see them now. They're all on their departures. And now we're going to go out to Grumpy. So 4,000 at Grumpy. So 4,000 or below. Or Grumpy. Grump. Like Grump 1 or something like that is what it says. What did you do here in the legs? You still got easy in there and all you. We're going to go direct to Grumpy. That's what we're going to do. So we just go boom there and execute. There we go. So now the airplane knows what we're trying to do here. We're at 210 knots on our left downwind now. Auto brakes are 2 still. That's good to go. Vertical speed is at 800. We're holding 4,000 though. I don't know what it wants to do there, but I'm fine with it. Into the soup we go. So we were getting some good instrument time. You know, we had that awesome tailwind, and I was like, man, we're going to make a good time here into this airport today. And it turns out that's not the case. We had a runway change on us, and they're going to make us work for it today a little bit. Traffic, we got one coming out there. He's 65 above us. We're going to keep an eye on him. In fact, we'll probably sequence behind him. Looks like he's going directly to Grumpy, and he's going to be picking at the that. So I was right originally. It's Grumpy, not Grump 1. Maintain the 210 knots, 4,000 feet. Everything's fine. Broke through the clouds there. Looks like that airplane's not going to be a problem for us at all. He's staying off to the north for us, so that's wonderful. Let's go ahead and slow this airplane down to 200 knots. And we're going to cross Grumpy about 191 they want there, so let's go ahead and slow down to 190. We'll get vectored in for the ILS here. Looks like the clouds are going to be hanging right around 4,000 right now, not down to 1,400, so that's good news for us. No, I don't know. He looks like he might be going out a little. He's going to be a little closer towards depot or something. We'll keep an eye out on him. He's 6,400 above us, though, so hard to say what that airplane's doing. It is. And we should grab our localizer and glide slope before too long. We just need to get on the other side of it here. We're going to line up for 27 left. We're now perpendicular. Yeah, looks like he might be joining, actually. He's just joining from a very high altitude. He might be doing that thing that they do where they dive bomb towards the runway. Never a dull moment. I am going to get sequenced in before this guy gets to us, though, I'll tell you that. So let's go ahead and turn left now. All the way to about there. 359. We're at 190. So depot is 163, 160 knots. So looks like that's pretty much how it's going to shake out here. Wow, we got a lot of traffic above us here, but they might be departing. Yeah. I hope they're not diving towards the runways that we're trying to use. Man, I'll tell you what, sequencing with Traffic Global is pretty interesting. It is pretty interesting stuff. All right, we're holding out here at about 4,000 feet. There's the localizer starting to come alive now. ILS DME 17.2 nautical miles. We don't have anything on the glide slope yet, but we'll look at that shortly when we get a little closer. So I'm watching him. I think they're just going to fly above us. They might be these departures that came out and they're flying around. That might be the reason why they're so high up, which works out great for us. We're just being careful. He's in a descent. This one is here. Watching him right now. All right, so let's get that heading a little bit squared up here. There we go. Yep, this airplane here is going to fly right over the top of us, and we are into the soup. It's always fun to get some weather, you know. Normally we have clear flights. Not happening today. Today they're like, nope, not going to be an easy one, and I'm fine with that. Okay, but X-Plane does that thing where it just blinds you out over and over again. I think we're at the point now where we can be unedited till we land. He's descending. He's 4,800, 4,700 feet above us. Man, he's gonna be a problem, I have a feeling. But we'll see. They might be using a different runway. All right, let's get a little bit more of a shallow angle here. There we go. Now we've got both of them starting to show up here. He might cut us off, this airplane, if he's going into Atlanta. He should be on the same runway we're on, but we'll see. I mean, we're 2.5 miles out. We might have visual on him before too long here. Yeah, he is. Let's go ahead and slow down. 180 knots. Give him plenty of time. The way Traffic Global is, they will rocket into the airport, so they're going to beat us no matter what we do. It's going to be fine. And now we're starting to get that glide slope coming down to us. Get a little bit better of a heading here. All right, so now we're going to get vectored in behind him. That should work out for us for the most part. ILS is coming to us. Localizer live. I'm going to arm the approach. Approach is armed. We have single channel lit up. And airplane is tracking the localizer right now. Might have been a little late on that. We'll see. All right, there is the runway. Yeah, we're going to be a little off here. But I was paying attention to the airplane in front of us. Okay, so that's good. We've got the glide slope, so flaps 15, gear down. All right, now it's tracking fine, no problem. And we'll go taxi, boom, boom, continuous for you. Arm verified down, 3 green, 15, it's good, continuous, armed illuminate. Let's get that right now. Armed illuminate. Beautiful. Yeah, we're in the soup right now, so we're just being careful here. Remember, 155 for VREF, so 155.
2,500.
Flaps 25. Speed checks. Flaps 25. Okay, we'll just wait to break out of the clouds here. I like the challenge that comes our way with Traffic Global. We got 11 knot crosswind from the left. There we go, just broke out. And he is on which runway? I don't see him anywhere. Says he's there though. I'll believe you. I'll believe you. And that's a police car there. I don't think he's on our runway. I think we'll be clear on that. All right, sweet. So that's good to go. We've already told them. Oh, let's tell them that they can be seated for landing here. PA system, prepare to land. That's holding out pretty well. Now, since the new Zebo update come out, the airplane flies a little bit different now. I'm gonna go ahead and turn it. Auto throttles off. We've got this. There we go, we got it. And we'll go ahead and disengage the autopilot. I know that's the correct way, but you know what? It's a sim. All right, so let's go ahead and land this sucker. Flaps 30. Yep, I see it. And that sound you're hearing, that's the trim as I'm operating it. A little bit more power than that. And those winds can be gusty. It's holding pretty good right here, pretty decent. So you see where it says GS right above the radio altimeter? That is what we aim our center line on. A little high, but we don't look at the ILS right now. I'm looking at the PAPI lights, and we're visually flying her to the runway right now. A lot of people like to chase the glide slope when you're shooting ILS, but if you have visual of the runway, you just follow those lights in, and you'll be golden. You'll be golden. Approaching minimums. A little fast here. Let's pull back. Power.
200.
There we go. A little fast.
50,
bring up to that.
40, 30, 20.
All right, bring her down. Bring her down. Reverser's out. Bring that nose down. Yeah, I was feeling the wind there at the very last second. Okay, what is this airplane doing? That was weird. Okay. The speed tape was strange. Manual brake that guy off to the off position. And we have made it to Atlanta. And we wanted to roll down to the end, and I'll show you why. That's because that's where we're parking. All right, slow down, puppy, slow down. Yep, going over here on the right. Right turn here, clean up the airplane, bring up the flaps. And we can bring that speed brake in. Like that. Start that APU. There we go, and we can go to just steady on that. Wing light come off as well. Wonderful. Let's go over taxi to the terminal. So yeah, this is the reason why we rolled all the way down to the end of the runway, because our terminal is right up here on the left. There's a couple American Airlines tails right there. We're going to park just after that CRJ up here on the left-hand side. Boy, that was an interesting one. We show up getting all configured for the ILS, and then we had to vector ourselves around and change up everything. But that's always, you know, a fun thing to have a challenge like that to where it doesn't go our way. Turn on APU, so all good to go. We'll turn that on once we get to the gates. But as of right now, all we have to do is just park this baby. All right, let's go ahead and pull the parking brake. We'll go ahead and go over to APU power here. Those are good to go. APU, that comes on. Those guys can go off. We can go ahead and kill these engines. There we go. Both of them are off. And anti-collision light off and seatbelt sign off. There we go. Wonderful. Well, folks, that's going to do it for this episode of X-Plane 11. Hope you enjoyed this flight. with all the updates to Zebo. It's been a lot of fun. It flies a lot differently. I don't know if something happened with the drag, but it feels like there's way more drag than there used to be on the airplane. And I was compensating for that by adding that power, but at the very last second I had to pull it all out because it started overspeeding a little bit by 10 knots I didn't want. But, you know, it was kind of gusty coming in, so it all worked out in the end. Anywho, I'll see you next time. Take care.